Hello everyone, I am Left, and welcome to another episode of Vainglory in Depth today. And today's episode is going to be covering Gwen, specifically Crystal Powered Gwen. Not going to be doing any weapon in this episode, so sorry if you expected a weapon, but Crystal is better and more fun in my opinion. So Gwen is a sniper in the Halcyon Fold. She was originally thought of to be a Ringo clone, but she's actually very unique and has her own skill set that is not anything to do with Ringo's. So Gwen's perk is Boomstick. Every, I think it's like 1.6 seconds, or something like that. Her next basic attack deals boosted weapon damage when you don't attack. This isn't very useful for Crystal Gwen, except for in the early game, which we will be getting to in a later part of this video. So that's Gwen's perk. She's a sniper, doesn't do very well with assassins, the usual for a sniper, and so yeah. This is Gwen's in-depth guide, and let's get into the abilities. Gwen's first ability is Buckshot Bonanza. It is, or actually, you know what? No, this is a video of her perk. I did that wrong. Thought I didn't have a video of her perk, but this is it. This is just her Boomstick perk in action. You see I'm using it there to take out the minions. So, as I just said before, Gwen's first ability is Buckshot Bonanza, as I am using it on these minions here. Has a very long range, deals a cone of weapon and crystal damage, slows and reveals enemies and minions hit. So it's very good for stealing things, just getting general poke damage down on mages, and it's basically an all-purpose poke. Gwen's second ability is Skedaddle, which is actually very useful despite sounding pretty silly. Basically what it does is it gives Gwen a temporary boost of movement speed as well as a passive permanent boost of movement speed while shaking off stuns, negative effects, and all kinds of stuff like that. Gwen's ultimate is Ace's High, where she just fires this card, presumably an ace I would guess, in the target direction, going through everything but heroes and stunning enemy heroes when it collides with them. Has a very high crystal ratio and a lower but still impressive weapon ratio. So now let's get into example gameplay. So you see here I'm using my Buckshot to just poke at this Samuel. You see I've got my Shatterglass and my Clockwork doing a lot of damage to Samuel here. And he's just going to keep stepping up and trying to get these minions, and I am eventually just going to see the opportunity. He's going to lock into his auto attack and just be going in that straight line. Makes it very easy for me to land my Ace's High at maximum range and secure a kill on Samuel. So this is gonna kill him. Gwen is just so good for poking. You guys just have to know that like she abuses mages when it comes to poke, and that's just a really good strategy that you should have to be using when you're playing Crystal Gwen. Next clip here, my team just really wants to surrender. I think they were trolling, but I was going try hard, so we're going to be engaging on a Samuel here while his teammates are taking the Kraken. You can see there my teammate bought all boots, but this is a casual game, so it doesn't matter. Gonna hit Samuel with another Buckshot, and he is actually going to trap himself into Drifting Dark, allowing me to easily smack him with Ace's High and take him out with one more Buckshot. So watch for heroes that have to commit to straight line paths like Skye and Samuel, and that's the perfect opportunity to hit them with your ultimate. This next clip here is a farming tip as well as a killing enemy heroes tip. So you see here that this turret is really low. Also, Gwen is right next, the enemy Gwen is right next to it. That Gwen is building weapon, I'm building crystal. So obviously I'm going to be way better. So you see here I've got my Shatterglass and my Broken Myth, and this turret is low. When you're playing with Crystal Gwen and you're farming with your Buckshot, look for opportunities where you can hit an enemy hero and minions. You have to go for value when you're spending your valuable energy on Crystal Gwen, and that's what I do here. I take out this turret, hit Gwen with Ace's High, and then I can quickly run back onto Flicker, who tried to come up and save her. So it's a double kill for me and a turret down, all done in 3 Buckshots. I don't really have anything to say about this next clip. It's really short. I didn't really come up with anything to say about it, but it's just showing how powerful Crystal Gwen is in the late game, as I obliterate that Gwen right there. But this next clip is a taking down the Kraken and chasing down a very pesky invisible Flicker. So we all spread out and take different paths, and I choose to go up here where I find Flicker, knock him out of his invisibility, block his fairy dust. It's so annoying. That's what makes us ban him every single time. Missed my ultimate terribly, and just grab him with the buckshot. So basically, Gwen is so fast that you can actually catch up to those sneaky and annoying heroes like Flicker on the chase. You're really good if you can just like not get your skedaddle passive boost canceled, and yeah, you're just very, very fast on Gwen. This next clip is a pretty prolonged and complicated fight. You see Flicker does well to block the Catherine's Blast Tremor, but right here we can see that Catherine has already used her stun. Saw is running away. I have position to hit all 3 of the enemy heroes with my buckshot, but Flicker is in kind of a bad spot because this allows him to be cut off from the rest of us by Catherine, Glaive, and Vox, whereas I can only like slow them. That's the only thing I can do to keep them off of Flicker here. So what's going to happen actually is Glaive is going to get distracted, and let's see this as the clip unfolds. Glaive and Catherine are going to be distracted from Flickers because he's going to go to the bush. And right here, I ready my ultimate because I know Glaive is coming over here to either knock me or Saw into a terrible position. You can see there the ultimate is sparking in my gun, and it's about to fly off right as Glaive is in his, like, I don't even know what that is, a whirlwind of death. Literally just hit Afterburn as my ultimate is about to channel straight into him. Hit him with that. He is just low. We kill him, blast him away with buckshot, and Flicker's going to go down here, but we are going to stay alive and have a good position on the enemies. So I'm doing massive damage to Vox and Catherine, but Saw makes the retarded decision of suppressing fire, so we're going to die here, actually. We kill Saw kills Catherine, but our buckshot comes off cooldown like 1 second too late. So Vox had Aftershock. If he didn't have Aftershock, we would have won that fight, but that's why I died there. The next clip is going to be another pretty long fight. We are just kind of posturing around in our jungle. Flicker is invisible, and we're all going to meet in the exact same spot at the last fight. So let's pause it right here, because Saw is in one of the worst positions he could possibly be in. I don't know what he's doing, but... So basically here, Flicker, he can't really do anything but Fountain to save Saw, because he has already taken the brunt of their CC. Glaive is just pounding him, and all we can do is really just throw Buckshot down, and Catherine's going to silence, Flicker's going to block it again. Great blocks from him there. We're going to catch Vox with the Aces High, which is good, but let's pause it right here. Saw goes down, and we just got punted into a pretty bad spot. But with Gwen, that's not a problem because of Skedaddle. So I am going to use my B to run away, and you know what, Glaive actually didn't go down. Actually, you know what, I meant Saw went down. I don't know what I said back there, but it's 2v3 right now. So they're going to both get distracted. They're all going to get distracted by Flicker. Now I am running back around this like tree line here with the rocks, and they're all going to be distracted by Flicker, and my Buckshot is off cooldown. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to land a ton of poke and huge damage on the other team. As you can see right here, I can't see them, but I know that they're all there. Flicker has escaped. They're all going to come looking for me. I can find out where they are by buckshotting over this structure, and I have so much damage that it's going to be able to kill Vox. So I kill Vox. The other two are both low. Now I'm thinking I can get a triple kill. Miss my buckshot there, but now I'm venturing into this bush when Catherine certainly has her stun up. Flicker's coming back, but I'm in a really bad spot. Glaive probably has his Afterburn back up by now, and Catherine is definitely going to try to stun me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to preemptively activate Skedaddle, block Catherine's stun, buckshot her down, and then go on to Glaive. Now of course I'm going to like horribly miss my ultimate there, but my energy regens and I'm able to pick up the triple kill on Glaive. Alright, last gameplay clip. This one's a longer one. I randomly throw my ultimate out there, not sure why, but this one's a longer one. Kraken is pushing in, and we are just kind of waiting for our chance. So basically right here, watch this. Glaive uses Afterburn, Catherine has used her stun. So now that Glaive has wasted Afterburn, Catherine has wasted her stun, and I think her ultimate too got blocked by Flicker again. Yeah, he was great with his blocks. So Glaive has wasted his Afterburn, Catherine has wasted her stun, Vox has already ulted. This is the time when Crystal Gwen goes in. Now I'm not even probably going to need Skedaddle here because they have wasted all their CC. This is the time for me to pepper them with Buckshot and just make my presence known, keep them off while my teammates hit the Kraken. So I'm going to be just using Buckshot over and over. Catherine is just getting low. She's going to stun me, but it's not going to stop me from getting back to them. Buckshot and Catherine, Blade blocks the ultimate, but I'm ultimately going to be able to take a double kill there because I waited for the correct time to go in after they wasted their CC. So that's it for the gameplay clips. We're going to get into some building and drafting strategies here. Hope those were helpful. Alright, so there's a couple tips I have for you guys when you're building Crystal Powered Gwen, and the first one is to start with a Weapon Blade. This helps you really early on with your like 1 to 5 minute farm, and it just boosts your perk is really helpful in the early game with farming. The Weapon Blade amplifies that, and that's why you should start with it. Building that into a Shatter Glass, you should sell off the Weapon Blade when you buy Shatter Glass. That's what I do. And Shatter Glass is going to give you a giant damage spike, much like it gives you when you're playing Crystal Powered Kestrel on the same build I do. So the next step is a little bit more complicated. Your second item is going to be either Clockwork or Broken Myth. If you really need the cooldown and you find that they're jumping on you and you're not able to output enough damage, buy Clockwork. But if you're ahead and you think that you need the cooldown, then you can buy Broken Myth. So the one that you don't pick for the second item, build that for the third item, because your final build should be Shattered Glass, Clockwork, Broken Myth. And as any good player should, you should buy a reflex block somewhere in there and fill in your defense as necessary. So if you're playing against like Koshka, then you should have that reflex block before level 6. It just depends on the heroes you're playing against. So always buy defense, always buy a reflex block, that's elementary. Some drafting tips for Gwen that I can give you. Great matchups for Gwen. Let's start with Celeste. She's really popular right now, and if you put Gwen into her, you can just destroy a Celeste from the early game to the late game. Your range is farther, even than her level 8 range, and you can just absolutely punish a Celeste. She has no way to get closer to you to like hit you with Core Collapse. Even if she does, you can just use Skedaddle. Your ultimate is like way better it's way more utilitarian than hers, and Celeste is just a great matchup for Gwen. Secondly, Kestrel. A really popular comp right now in Vainglorious is anything that has Celeste and Kestrel on the same team, because they're both ranged poke, debatably mages. I mean, of course Celeste is, but I'm not sure about Kestrel. They're both ranged. Gwen outranges both of them, just brutally pokes them down. And yeah, just if you see Celeste and Kestrel on the same team, pick Gwen. It's a great matchup. Next, Vox. Now, Vox is a little bit like slippery and hard to catch, but his very short range is just, I don't know, it's just so easy for Gwen to just punish Vox because of his really short range. So if you see a Vox on the enemy team, and that's one of the only like close range heroes they have, go Gwen. Now in the support category, if they pick Lance, Gwen is a decent pick. You can shrug off, Lance thrives on putting you in bad situations through chaining his abilities. Whether that's rooting you or chain stunning you into a wall over and over and over and over and over with his Githian wall, you can just use Skedaddle to completely shake that off and escape from Lance. And you can even just keep him at a distance with Buckshot. It's great for Gwen. So now some bad matchups for Gwen. Blackfeather. Do not first or second pick Gwen if Blackfeather is still on the board. Blackfeather absolutely annihilates Gwen. Your ultimate can just be completely negated by Road's offensive. Your A can be completely negated by Road's offensive. His barrier is very good for combating your 3-second damage output with your Clockwork and your Buckshot. He's just an incredible counter to Gwen, and don't pick into it. Lyra, Gwen, when you're at like full power, you are dealing damage every 3 seconds with your Buckshot. Lyra can easily heal up the entire team, and it's like you never did anything at all, especially late game when she has a lot of health, so I would advise not picking Gwen into Lyra. Koshka, she just has way too many gap closers for Gwen to deal with effectively. I mean, you could hit her as she's coming in with ultimate, but that takes a very clear and out in the open team fight. Even a 1v1 is shaky, Gwen versus Koshka. Gwen just typically doesn't do well against assassins, and Koshka is no exception. Lastly, Taka. Just like Kashka, you just don't really want to be picking Gwen into assassins because, I mean, you don't know where he's coming from. You can't exactly, like, plan when, I mean, you can't use Skedaddle to get away from Taka because he has way too many gap closers. You don't know where he is, you might miss your ultimate, he might flip over it. He's just kind of too much of a hassle to deal with when you're Gwen, and you would be much better off with something like Kestrel or Celeste. So that's going to be it for the draft strategies and the build strategies and the gameplay analysis for Gwen. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope you really learned a lot about Crystal Powered Gwen. If you have more questions, just comment down below. So glad to be getting this video out to you guys, and I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching.